In America, most professionals are overweight, they're unmotivated, they're undisciplined, and they struggle taking command of their health and fitness. I'm here with Alex Michael, and if you listen to today's episode, that's all about to change. Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we are here with Rounds Complete Fitness, and Rounds Complete Fitness is dedicated towards helping those individuals with lacking discipline, motivation, accountability, make fitness a main priority in their lives. And we're doing that especially with people in the military, as standards across the military have completely changed and have been heightened to meet what our Secretary of War likes to call readiness and lethality. So that's what we're doing.
So Alex is the head trainer here with Rounds Complete Fitness. My name's Parker McCumber. I am a leadership coach, and I'm kind of maybe the assistant coach in this endeavor. I got into fitness coaching for the first time back in 2020 during the COVID era, and had a little bit of success with it, but I didn't pursue it too much. I got more interested in leadership and leadership development. I'm finishing up a doctorate in organizational leadership with emphasis, a doctorate of business administration with emphasis in organizational leadership. And I got really fascinated about fitness as a tool for leadership. And what I mean by that is, if you can't lead yourself to do the hard thing, to stay fit, presentable, you can't inspire other people. Like when you walk into a room and you're morbidly obese, nobody looks at that guy and says, hell yeah, I want to follow him.
Yeah, no.
No, you don't command respect the same way. Mm-mm. And so, like, personal story, if it's okay for me to share, a few years ago, I had a couple herniated discs in my lower back, and I stopped training, but I kept eating the way that I was when I was training. And I gained a lot of weight. I was at my peak weight ever. It was like 240 pounds. And I noticed, like, I wasn't in the shape that I used to be in. People didn't look at me the same way when I walked into a room, and they didn't respect my ideas the same way that they used to maybe 40 pounds earlier.
For sure.
So I got captivated by this concept of, like, there's actually merit to your physical fitness and how you're perceived as a leader, whether we want to recognize it or not. So Alex and I kind of, like, each with our own why, that was our reason for getting involved in this endeavor ultimately. Mm-hmm. Alex, talk a little bit about your personal why, if you don't mind sharing.
I mean, I kind of rode the same boat as you did. I went from being, top fitness stud, basic training in AIT. I think I broke some records for speed.
For the people that don't know, AIT is Advanced Individual Training. It's the specialty school you go to in the military after basic.
Yeah, so like your job, essentially. I'm pretty sure I broke some speed record for the 2 mile at AIT, and I was really, really light. So I think I was about 118, 120 pounds soaking wet. But then my body started to break down because I wasn't feeding it properly. I was overworking myself, and I started to notice I was also gaining weight because I couldn't run as much because I was getting stress fractures and knee problems due to lack of recovery and just pounding myself into the ground. And then I went from being 120 pounds soaking wet to I'm busting through my ASUs at about 160 to 170 pounds within a year, or 6 months to a year. So I went from being like, my drill sergeants are concerned about me being swept away in the wind, to my ROTC cadre being like, we don't even know if you're going to make height and weight. So that was a huge, huge blow to my self-confidence, because everyone knew me as the fitness stud, but I was not taking care of myself. And then I went from fitness stud to
fatness stud.
Yeah. I remember one time I walked up to my roommate. She was in my ROTC, and I was like, dude, I can't get my pants to button. And she was laughing so hard, but it was a huge wake up call. I was like, I can't be doing this. And then throughout my career, I fluctuated with weight. I herniated my back in 2015. And to this day, I haven't been the same, but I've learned to work around it. And that's caused me a cascade of effects And it really messed up my hormones. It messed up my ability to train the way I wanted to. But now that I've figured it out, I'm like, okay, I'm not the only person who's gone through this. There's no way I'm the only person. There has to be other women out there who struggle with this and are trying to figure out the most safe and effective way to get themselves to where they need to be, to where they don't have to hammer themselves into the dirt and then face the hormonal repercussions of not taking care of yourself down the road. And so I don't want to say I'm blessed that I've had these experiences, but in a way I am, because I feel like I can use all of my hardships as a way to prevent women from digging themselves into that hole and safely and effectively get to those fitness standards that we need to maintain.
Definitely. So these are great experiences. I think they really shed light on the backstory. I'm curious, you have a pretty unrivaled formal education when it comes to the online fitness coaching space. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your formal education and your coaching experience as well?
Yeah, sure. My passion for fitness has always been there. I grew up playing ice hockey in Minnesota. Yeah, I know all you guys did it. And I just fell in love with the process of getting better at something and refining your athleticism. And then I was going to go into broadcast journalism just to talk about athletes. But then I was like, wait, no, I am an athlete. I want to help athletes. And then I went into college at the University of Wisconsin, River Falls, and I went into an exercise sports science degree with a military leadership minor. And then I joined the Army when I was 18 because I was missing that sense of camaraderie and team aspect, if you will, from playing hockey. And then I was like, well, I don't want to just do this by myself. So I joined track and field and cross country. And that's where my love of running, started to come about. And so I'm involved in the Army, in my education and athletics, and all of these things are kind of merging together and coming to bring forth like what I actually want to do in life. And that's just coach athletes. And I consider soldiers or people in the military to be athletes or like tactical athletes. And then after I joined active duty, I took some time off from education and just focused on field artillery. And then during that time, I was going through some shifts. It wasn't a really great time for me. And I was like, I don't think this is what I want to do forever, but I don't want to completely leave the Army. So I had the very unique privilege and opportunity to go take some time to train at the World Class Athlete Program, which is the Army Olympians. So I was training Olympic athletes at my first coaching job ever. And I'm like, holy crap, like I don't feel qualified for this. But I was training the wrestlers, taekwondo, track and field, and boxing amongst some para-Olympic athletes who to this day have gone on and medaled, which is cool to say that, I worked with these people. And then I got my certified strength and conditioning coach certification. And I was like, okay, this is exactly what I want to do. I left active duty, got my USAW, which is like Olympic lifting certification. I was coaching at some commercial gyms. And then I thought to myself, there's more. I know I can do more. And so I went on. After I moved to Utah, I started my master's at Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions. And I started studying the impacts of load carriage. So our rucksacks, or our big Army backpacks, if you will, and how that affects spinal load. And it's different for men and women. And so my mindset started to shift towards how can we individualize and customize the way the military does things. And you and I talked about, potentially redesigning our rucksacks too. And so if a backpack can be customized and fitted at REI, why can't we do it in the military? And if a backpack can be customized and fitted, why can't everything else that we do? To include physical training, which is a fundamental aspect of our success in our military career.
Well, it should be.
Yeah, it should be.
Customized and fitted.
Yes. Not everybody should be doing the same things every day. Granted, you want to have the same level of skill and capability, and you should have those check-ins, like, are we all keeping up with each other? But you should not be training
different people have different needs and different struggles and obstacles, right? Like, just to think about this from my own perspective, on the old Army fitness test, you get your push-ups, sit-ups, and your run. And I could, at any point in time, be really good at two of those events and suck at the third.
Right.
And they rotated. It was like, I was really good at my push-ups and sit-ups, but when I got really good at push-ups and sit-ups, I was the slow guy. And then when I got really good at running, I was really bad at push-ups.
Right.
So it was like,
There's no win.
yeah, but I always needed something different, right? And that's the same for everybody. People have different skills and strengths, and they need to train in their weaknesses to keep the whole team's average as a whole moving up.
Well, right, because everybody comes into the military with their own unique athletic background or lack thereof, and everyone comes in with different injuries and different skill sets. And I'm not saying everyone deserves, like all 1.2 million of us need an individualized program, but some people might need a little bit of help getting up to where they need to be. Now, granted, you're supposed to be able to pass these things in your initial entry training, but, you know, life happens, right? You hurt your back. I hurt my back. How are we going to deal with this while keeping our soldiers in the military? Standards have changed. Okay, how are we going to meet these standards so that we don't have a retention problem?
So you're also, if I'm not mistaken, finishing up your doctorate right now, your PhD, correct?
Yeah. So
Take a minute, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I started my PhD back in May of 2023. So I'm going on 2.5 years now. Yeah, wow. 2.5 years of doing a PhD. And my focus has been on helping female first responders with PTSD and using red light therapy, or more scientifically, photobiomodulation, to help with some of those neural processes. And that's been an incredibly rewarding thing, because you can't have a healthy physical profile when your mental profile is also struggling. And I would dare say spiritual as well. So being able to take a professional standpoint of solving problems for women in the military with fitness and strength and conditioning, and marrying mental health issues with female first responders, you have the mental health, the physical health, and two very unique tactical populations. And it's allowed me to paint this huge picture of the overall systemic problems coursing throughout the military and our first responder population. So, my PhD has been a life-changing experience. And that is another thing that you have to know your why behind, as to why you're doing something like that, because you don't just do that as a weekend project.
Absolutely. So, Rounds Complete Fitness, you're primarily helping women in the military train to reach the gender-neutral combat standard now, right? When I think about some of the problems or obstacles that you're likely facing, or that these people are facing, it's things like, they have a very busy workload, and so they have a hard time fitting fitness into their schedule. They probably struggle with nutrition a lot, because they're on the go, and they're busy professionals and leaders, and so they're, you grab food when you can grab food, and sometimes that's fast food.
Yeah.
It's not always great for you. They probably have pretty poor recovery, especially if you're struggling to meet a standard and you have like an organized physical training session with the military once, and it's not getting you where you need to be, but you're already fatigued from that.
Right.
And then I would say there's probably just inconsistency and lack of discipline and accountability. How do you attack those things as a fitness coach?
Right. I have 11 people right now that I'm working with, and all 11 people have way different lifestyles, way different needs, and different things that they are trying to get better at. I have some that are very self-driven and don't really need a whole lot of help. They just love the programming and the accountability. And those people are doing great.
From my perspective, if I can just add, I think the accountability is probably one of the most important parts, because it's through the accountability that you build the discipline to hold yourself to the standard.
Precisely. It's through the accountability and check-ins that we're able to make sure that we're staying on track. And one of the hallmarks of this program is that it is highly customizable and adaptable to whatever comes up. And so that accountability piece is, hey, coach, I'm having issues with recovery. I didn't sleep well last night. I look at the next day, I say, we're not doing that. We're doing this. And I can do that on the spot.
So you, if I'm not mistaken, you give them access to your personal Voxer so that they can reach out to you anytime. That's a quick automatic reply type thing.
Yeah. I was at the hockey game last night, and I'm responding to clients as I'm watching the hockey game. Like if I have my phone on me, I'm more than likely going to be able to respond to you in real time.
Right
but
on.
with overcoming, let's say, nutritional things, that's probably one of the number one things I come across is helping people with their nutrition patterns. Mm-hmm. And I have what I call a nutrition log stat as a part of their programming. So it's like a tab that you can go in and fill in each week, and I get to see what you ate. And then with our one-on-one calls every week, we can go over, okay, this is what we need to do better at. Hey, great job Wednesday. That was fantastic. Looks like you got all your stuff.
You've got to hit the macronutrients.
You do.
I mean, if I'm being objective throughout the course of my life, my fitness journey, I've been a power lifter at times. I've been running half marathons. Like, I've been all over the place. Mm-hmm. But when I get dialed in on the macronutrients, it makes everything else easier.
Well, that's what I tell everybody. It's like especially if you're active duty and you're training in the morning with your unit, and I'm also giving you things to do at night to help supplement all of those things that you're doing, you have to eat. I see sometimes our active duty soldiers, they don't have the time to eat, but I teach you how to plan in advance, what things you can bring with you, what you can have in your car, what you can have at your office, like things that you can just grab, and it's good, it's healthy, and it's going to fuel you to get to the rest of the day.
So we kind of talked about this before. Let's talk about the Rounds Complete Fitness philosophy, right? Because I thought it was kind of cool. The first point of this, and let's just attack it point by point. It's 4 steps, is that you make fitness fit into their lifestyle. What does that actually mean?
Everyone has a different lifestyle. Some of my clients have kids. Some have multiple kids. Mm-hmm. Some are single and on their own. Some live in the barracks. Some are overseas right now. And so those all present different demands. Those all are going to impact your daily life.
Well, it's like we talked about, different people have different needs. Mm-hmm. For example, if my workout is longer than an hour, I'm stopping at an hour.
Right.
I just don't have that time to donate to that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's why we were talking beforehand. I do rest pause training now. It makes, my entire collection of sets on a singular lift take 3 minutes instead of taking 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Different needs for different people. Mm-hmm. The second point of that was that you train discipline through accountability.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about what that looks like for a client.
So through that Voxer app, you have walkie-talkie access to me, so you can be like, hey, coach, there's these dudes on the bench that have been there for 10 minutes, and I don't have time to wait. Okay, let's come up with plan B. Go to the other bench, get the dumbbells, and we're going to do that. And then a lot of times my clients will text me, hey, coach, got the work done today. Or I get a lot of phone eats first meals, and I get to see what they're eating. And I'm like, man, I want you to come over and cook for me because that looks good. And sometimes they're going out to the field. Sometimes they're going on vacation. And so they'll let me know, hey, I got the stuff done, or I didn't get anything done these past 4 days. I was sleeping like crap. And then I can go in and tell them what we're going to do instead. And it's you're not married to the program. You're married to the process. The program is subject to change based on your lifestyle. It's the process of going through it and making sure that you're at least doing the things that you can control that day. Awesome. And that's where the accountability comes in. Okay,
so point 3 in the philosophy was that you have holistic systems, not just brutal workouts. Mm-hmm. And I think, as you explain that to me, if I'm understanding it correctly, it's the nutrition system. Mm-hmm. It's the accountability system. It's the programming for your workouts. What else is involved in some of these systems?
Well, along with the daily accountability, every 7 to 10 days or so, we'll try to schedule a one-on-one call, and that lasts about an hour.
Awesome.
A lot of the times it's just catching up and seeing how you're doing and making sure that this is all working for you. But oftentimes we'll go over specific exercises that you might be having trouble with or need more.
Oh, that's really valuable, especially if somebody is struggling with something.
Yeah.
So they can take a video, they can send you the video, you can do the form check.
Exactly.
Very good.
Yeah. So yesterday I was demonstrating an exercise on our one-on-one and how to perform it a little bit better. And we're talking about, okay, what's going on next week? Okay, looks like Thursday is a no-go, take that as an off day, move this day to Saturday if you have time. You know, it's like we're in real time managing your life. So I'm almost like your personal assistant in a way when it comes to
Fitness personal
all of
assistant.
that stuff. Yeah. It's not just a coach. Like I'm here to make sure that this program is working for your lifestyle and the things that come up. Because not every week is going to look the same, especially if you're in the military.
Yeah. And the fourth point of the philosophy was an identity shift. It wasn't just being a busy, stressed out professional anymore. It was the transition. You know, the goal is to transition these people into confident leaders, into high performers. How does, I guess, you know, do you have any client success stories that you could share real quick? Like how did this, you know, coaching really change someone's life and put them into that role?
Yeah, I mean, one of my friends from artillery school reached out to me in June, and she's a postpartum mom. And so she's combat arms, and now she's postpartum. There is a huge hill you have to climb to get yourself into baseline level shape, let alone combat standards. So she's like, dude, I need your help. And I was like, sweet, let's do it. And so she's been my first client, and she's gone from 20 pounds over the height weight limit to now she's like 3 or 4 pounds underneath. So she has that buffer room.
And you said that was in June she started with you? So this is like 5 months and she's lost 24, 25 pounds?
Yes.
Right on.
And she's like, I just had one of the best Army fitness tests that I've ever taken because I've developed her strength, her speed, her confidence, and gotten her to the point where she's crushing these combat standards. And I'm almost afraid to go up against her because I'm like, dang, I think I trained you too well, you know?
Yeah.
And now she's on her second round of the Commander's Fitness Protocol. So I'm having to like keep coming up with new phases and new things for her to do because she's gone through it and she wants to keep doing it. And that's been our number one success story because she was our first and now she's still going.
So Alex, what's something that someone can do today? What's a change they can make, an action they can take to immediately begin to improve their fitness?
Start looking at what you're eating. Like nutrition is going to be the make or break in all of your fitness. I could work out 6 days a week, but if I'm pounding cheeseburgers and drinking beer every day, it's not going to help me.
On the note of nutrition, one of the tools that worked best for me is the MyFitnessPal app.
That's
and
a
then
go-to.
just tracking my macronutrients and calories on that. Okay, that's about all the time that we have. I need you guys right now, though, to hop on your phones, open them up, go to your Instagram, and follow Rounds Complete LLC. You'll see a picture of Alex probably deadlifting on the profile picture.
It's me with a coffee cup.
And then, hey, book a call. If you need help, book a call. Alex does a free consultation with everybody.
Yep. You can find the calendar link right under the bio in my Instagram, and you get a free consultation when you go through what you need and how I can help.
That's a wrap.
Hell yeah.